Talking about this topic or even this game feels so odd, mostly because the game itself is almost never talked about at this point, so I felt like breaking the already massive silence by making this. I've been replaying this game and live streaming most of it, and I've had new appreciation for the new movement added here. Yeah, there are only 2 new moves, but they really help flesh out the gameplay as a whole. The thing is, I'll be talking about these 2 moves I mentioned at the same time, the double jump and the ground pound. These moves sound extremely basic at first glance. I mean, almost every platformer game has something like this. So what even remotely sets these things apart from other platformers? Going to be honest with you, not much really. But what makes these 2 moves great is not shown when you compare them to other platformers, but when you compare it to the other runner games. To analyze this properly, we have to look back at the other runner games specifically. Runner 1 was very limited with your options for getting past obstacles, having only jump, slide, spring, kick, and block. This of course made the game way simpler, but your options way more repetitive at the same time. Runner 2 took this opportunity to expand your range of options by adding slide kicks, a few minigames, speed boosters, and the occasional rail grinding. Runner 3 did a similar amount of new things, except they all help you interact with the environment the game places in front of you. Wall springs help you ascend up to go left instead of right. The left and right triggers allow you to switch lanes to find alternate paths and levels, not to mention all the extra vehicle segments. However, the main attractions are the double jump and ground pound. You're already required to use these abilities by just dessert, but afterwards you're basically required to use them in tandem for layer situations. So, the game is already making you use these on simpler formations of obstacles, but is there a real test for this? If you played Runner 3, you probably know where I'm going with this, but this is where the impossible levels come in. These levels do a really great job of testing you on the things you learned, because they're all designed around using certain combinations of abilities. 95 Windows is all about jumps, slides, and stairs. Cheese and Josh Minus is based around the kick and using that mechanic on stairs as well. Level Name is heavily centered around springs, and using your ground pound to quickly descend back to the ground. The list goes on, but fun fact, I only just named the 3 in Food Land. The later ones just only get crazier. Cough cough, Electropia Dawn. The first one, heavily based around double jump dives, as I'll call them, is British Knights. This is the first of the impossible levels to have 2 segmented obstacles, forcing you to use double jumps to get over them. The second one of these has a floating orb just after you get over it, forcing you to use a ground pound to get out unscathed. Finally, you see a set of 4 2 segments and 4 orbs that has you use these together in a specific rhythm. It's really tough at first, but once you do them over and over, it becomes easier and easier. All of this I just mentioned is only referring to the first part of the level as well. In this way, it's kind of similar to the Mario level design philosophy, where a specific hazard is introduced in a safe space at the beginning, and ramps up all the way to the end of the level. Except there's no safe space and you're bonking constantly until you know what you're actually doing. This is also a thing that makes the impossible levels not really for everyone. They're made for people like me who are crazy enough to do them, and with way too much time on their hands. And although that sounds bad on the surface, the levels themselves are actually really open to anyone who literally gets any gold at all, and they're optional, so you don't have to do them if you don't want to. That topic on difficulty management is a can of worms I definitely do not want to get into. You know, the "is Crash Bandicoot the Dark Souls of platformers" type argument, so that can be saved for a later video. Anyway, thanks for watching. I'm going to be streaming the rest of the impossible levels I'm replaying, as well as a ton of other stuff. So stay tuned, subscribe, and watch me suffer on Electropia Dawn. For now, ESF1, out.